button, just turn that off now.
All right, you're live on YouTube and now being recorded.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. I will call this meeting to order. And I will read the following announcement. Any person may make a video or audio recording of an open session of a meeting or may transmit the meeting through any medium, subject to reasonable requirements of the chair as to the number, placement, and operations of equipment used so as not to interfere with the conduct of the meeting. Any persons intending to make such recording shall notify the chair forthwith. All documents referenced or used during this meeting must be submitted in duplicate to the chair pursuant to open meeting and public records law. All documents shall become part of the official record of the meeting. So now that we have read that, we are live on YouTube, so I don't think there will be anyone recording. So moving forward, I believe everyone knows everybody, but I would like to introduce our new member, Councilor Judy Mack. I am pleased she is able to join us. She has expressed a lot of interest in the subjects that fall within the Public Service Committee. So we're excited to work with Councilor Mack, and I think it'll be a good time. Welcome, Councilor Mack.
Thank you, Councilor Boudreau.
Review and approval of the minutes of the prior meeting. Has everybody had the opportunity to review the minutes?
Yes,
Is there a motion on the floor?
I'll make a motion to
Is there-
approve the minutes of our last meeting, February 25th, 2020.
And considering Councilor Mack wasn't there, I will make the second. All in favor?
Aye.
You can vote on it. You just can't.
Aye.
All right. Now, department updates. DPW
I thought you-
Director.
Excuse me, Nate,
Yeah,
Councilor Boudreau. I thought you
Yep.
had to take a roll call when you're on live for all the votes.
oh, thank you very much. We have to take a roll call vote. So Councilor Karen Hardner,
Yes,
Councilor Judy Mack,
Yes.
Councilor Nathan Boudreau, yes. All right, DPW updates. Let's go with the honorable DPW Director, Dane Arnold.
Thank you. Big news hit the DPW this week, that Denise is retiring after 45 years after serving with the city diligently. President Lincoln swore her in and she's been here since. But we're gonna miss her a lot. She's worked hard, as you all know, for the city, and we're gonna miss her. I don't know what else to say, but she's done a great job, but she's taking the next step in her life with retirement.
Is that at the end of the fiscal?
It's as of June 28th.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Denise. I've been serving in this capacity with you for the past 7.5 years, and you have been the best part by far. So thank you very much for all of your service and working so hard for the city. I'm sure you will continue to do so.
I will. Thank you very much.
On same note, Christine is actually going to be taking her place. She applied for the position in computer and is going to be taking the position. She works in the water and sewer department. She's filled in for Denise over the years. She's been kind of trained for the position. So, she's not going to fill Denise's shoes right away, but she'll be real good. Just as an update. Moving on, the water sewer project downtown, they have completed the sewer project as of today. It started back last August with the water installation. Sometime in the winter, they started doing the installation of the sewer line on City Hall Ave and Nickel Street. They ran into ledge, a lot of ledge, which really slowed the project down. And they just put in their last length of pipe today, and they're actually patching the trench. So from here, we're going to move on to doing water connections on Central Street, starting at City Hall Avenue. So we're going to be tying in like John's Sport Shop and Priscilla's, and kind of walk our way up Central Street, all the way up Maple Street, and then work back down Pleasant Street and go down City Hall Avenue, starting connecting all the water services for the project. So that's gonna take a couple of weeks. From there, they're gonna move on to go up Vernon Street will be the next street we install a water main. And then after that, we're gonna hit Clark and Acadia. So that's kind of moving along. Things should start speeding up. The ledge really slowed the project down. Piggybacking on that, we're looking at paving the downtown projects. Anything that was touched with a water main or sewer is gonna get repaved. The plan is to putting in a base coat sometime probably July or August. So we're gonna come in and pulverize the city, the downtown, and put in a level coat, let it sit the winter, come back next year in the spring and do a final coat on everything. Also, we're looking at Kelton Street, Wheeler, Stone Street, and Ryan Street is a disaster as far as the condition of the road. I drove it this morning. It's beyond any pothole filling or anything like that. So I've met with Mass Broken Stone, and we're going to look at least pulverizing the road and putting down gravel, more or less gravel, roll it and smooth it with a grader. And depending on how much funding we can get, slowly start paving sections of that area, because it's just, we need to do something. I can't leave it the way it is. So we have a little bit of money left over from last year. I'm hoping it's enough to at least pulverize the road and grade it. And then as the city finds funding, we'll come back and pave the road as we move out. Any questions on water project or paving? I have other stuff, but nothing.
My question is there a list of roads being on a list to be paved in Gardner?
We have a list of every street in the town and the city that's been prioritized and rated depending on the condition of it. It's the bad streets obviously get the highest rank to be paved. Then we have to, depending on how much money we have to talk to the mayor, work out some type of pavement schedule. But as of right now, I don't know what we even have for Chapter 90 money or when it's coming in. We typically know by now, but because of the COVID-19, I have not got enough response from the state to even know what's happening with the paving money. So
Is it possible to get a copy of that list?
yeah, I can send you that list.
Thank you. Councilor Boudreau, you're on mute.
It's been updated. You wanted to send that to the whole service committee?
Sure.
Thank you.
OC Playground, last year we got a grant from the state for $45,000, and the Rock Foundation donated another $10,000, and then the city kicked in about $25,000 towards replacing a section of the OC Playground down there. So that's been removed. They started that in the fall. We actually just completed it today. We've got the mulch in and the curbing. It's like a rubber curbing around the outside of it. And we're going to be putting in like a picnic table area or something down there. So it's starting to come along. And depending on, again, how funding comes, if we get another grant, we'll remove a section of that and replace it with modern, safer equipment. So that's kind of on the horizon. Any questions? All right, tree hearings. There's a bunch of trees that National Grid have to remove for, they're putting in a solar field, so they have to remove some trees in order to run some power source out to it. And they're gonna be submitting a tree list to myself. I spoke to the mayor. We're gonna have a public hearing at some point, probably in June. There's also a list of trees that the city has deemed that need to be either pruned or removed as well. And that area is in Partridge Street. There's some up on Stone, Kelton, where we're going to be looking at pulverizing, and a few other areas in the city. Nate, I put 2 Chapel Street on that list. Dean's going to take a look at it, and whether we trim it or remove it, at least it will be on the list. So that's that. Lastly is there's some deficits in my budget, snow and ice being one of them, of about 275 grand that we have a deficit in, and we were waiting to talk to the new mayor when elected. However, given the time frame of new mayor in taking office, so kind of late in the fiscal year, I'm going to be submitting a request for 275 grand to the finance committee for cover last year's deficit for snow and ice. I've spoke to the mayor, I've spoke to John Richard, we're all on the same page.
And this was a relatively light winter, so 275 is really not bad.
This year, we had a ton of icy storms, more than snow, which it actually costs a lot more. We spent about 575 grand so far this year in snow and ice. Well, I say this, hopefully, it snowed on Mother's Day. Thankfully, we didn't go out, but so that's, hopefully we're out of the woods. So there's that, and there's also a couple of money orders that for to cover some contract issues that when the union finalized their contract, the budget was already complete. So there's items like weekend standby and clothing, things like that need to be covered under what was a contract issue with the crew that needs to be sent up as a request as well. So that's what I got. If anybody has any questions.
I just have a question on tree removal. I had a constituent who actually lives right next door to me say he put in for a tree removal for last year, and he wanted to know how he could find out where that is on the list.
Do you happen to know his address?
Yes, it's 38 Chapel Street.
Let me check my postings of what we've done in the past and see if it's on there. If not, I'll add it to this one.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, that's all I got.
All right. Chris Coughlin?
Yep. Hey, everybody. So a couple things to go over. In March, there was a public hearing scheduled through Mass DOT for the Uptown Rotary project. That needs to happen at the 25% design stage in order to move that project forward. I'm working with the state right now. I think they're setting up, similar to what we're doing, the ability to set up a public hearing virtually. As of right now, though, we don't have a date, and that's sort of holding up any sort of progress on that project. So I'll let everyone know as soon as we get a date, but might be looking further into June for something like that. Wrights Reservoir, you may have noticed it's filled back up. The dam project is 95% complete. We've rehabbed the spillway and done a lot of work around the Deer Club, that earthen dam there. So that's wrapping up. And one other interesting thing, this past couple of weeks, we've been holding workshops for the MVP grant. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of that. It's the Municipal Vulnerability Preparedness Grant. And it gives us access to a lot of money for a whole bunch of different types of projects, especially infrastructure projects like culverts, other dams throughout the city. So as part of that process, we go through these workshops, identify vulnerabilities throughout the city, and then they get prioritized and we can pick the highest ranked ones for funding in the future. So that's moving forward, and I think that's it.
All right, thank you very much.
Yep.
Let's open this back up. All right, and Lindsay's not with us today, but she seems to be acclimating well and doing well. There doesn't seem to be any abatements, which would be tough, as it would be hard to do that via Zoom. A petition by National Grid to install one solely owned pole on East Broadway, beginning at a point approximately 115 feet southeast of the center line of the intersection of Prospect Street. National Grid to install one solely owned pole, 4-2 sidewalk anchor/5 for customer electrical upgrade. There will be a public hearing for this on Monday's meeting.
Yep, both Dane and I drove by this location. I don't have any objections to it.
Any questions from the counselors? Is there a motion on the floor?
I'll make a motion that this is brought to public hearing on May 18th.
So a motion has been made that we approve the petition. Is there a second?
A second.
Counselor Karen Harden,
Yes, I second it.
Counselor Judy Mack,
Yes.
yes, and I, Counselor Nathan Boudreau, vote yes as well. So it has been motioned that we move forward on that petition positively. And next is waiver request from resident at 15 Greenwood Place to dig a hole in the road for gas installation.
Yeah, the road was paved back in 2016. We have a 5-year moratorium on any freshly paved road unless it's an emergency. This is not an emergency. However, the homeowner wants to get it in based on trying to, for economic reasons, we'll say. I don't really have any objections to it. I believe it's just outside of the state's bridge repair project, so it may or may not get repaved anyway if he does it. So that's my input.
The homeowner will repave the blacktop.
Yes.
All right. Is there a motion on the table?
I make a motion to approve this waiver request from the resident, 15 Greenwood Place.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right. Now we'll go through. Counselor Karen Harden,
Yes,
Counselor Judy Mack,
Yes.
Counselor Nathan Boudreau, yes. All right, so that passed as well. Counselor requests. Let's go start with Counselor Mack.
I just wanted to follow up, Dane, with the guardrail extension that was brought up on at Crystal Lake Cemetery to see where that stands.
We won't be installing guardrails, but looking at putting in rocks, if that's what you're
Okay.
talking about, Crystal Lake. Yeah,
Yep.
the intention is as we get them, we just kind of plop them down along.
Okay. That area's been open for quite a while, and I just thought it was quite a hazard and a liability to the city. But that's all I have this evening for concerns.
Karen?
yes, Dean. Just want to mention Harvard Street again on the end of Baker. Hopefully that will make the list sometime to be repaved.
Yes. I actually just sent you all the paving list.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
So if you can find me $27 million, we'll pave all the bad roads.
Then we'll be in the clear for a year and a half. And then, all right, Dane, thank you for all the work you guys have been doing. I just want to make sure you are aware that a contractor on Jean Street has completely demolished one of your sidewalks. I told
Yes.
Rowan about it and I spoke to him. He was nice to me. He said he was going to fix it up real good. I don't know if they had called you.
Yeah, we've actually been driving by and kind of monitoring what's been going on out there. I mean,
Beautiful wall.
yeah, that's kind of what we're hoping, is that he's not going to put up such a nice wall and keep the walk in front of us. So I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt until we have to step in, but hopefully he'll replace it.
All right. And then additionally, a couple of the police officers have contacted me with concern about the skate park. They're unaware as to why a 5-on-5 or a 4-on-4 or a 3-on-3 basketball game would be appropriate, but less than 10 children could not enjoy their skateboard or scooters. And if we were not willing to open up the skate park, if there was a different option that they could kind of tell kids, hey, go scooter here or go scooter there.
This is what I would tell you. I 100% agree. I think the skateboard park should be open as long as the kids stand 5 feet apart up on top around the bowl. I think what happened was, I would have kept the skateboard open, honestly. But I think what happened is the kids were kind of all standing around each other up around the top of the bowl, watching the one person down in the skateboard. So hopefully as of Tuesday, when things open up, that will be addressed and reopened. But does that help?
Who made that call? Was that the police that made that call, or?
It came from City Hall, Mayor's office. So.
All right. And that's all I have. Anything else from anybody?
No?
All right. I'd imagine we would meet one more time between now and the end of June, but if not, congratulations, Denise, and thank you very much. I am seeking a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Karen Hardern,
Yes.
Judy Mack,
Yes,
Nathan Boudreau, yes. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you very much.
thank you.
Take care.